I know I myself am very appreciative of the air conditioning. They were working on my air conditioner today, so I am thoroughly enjoying some cool air, and thank you for that tonight. So I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:18. I can see it with my glasses on. So first off, I want to welcome all guests. Do we have any guests with us tonight? Thank you so much. And I know we don't have a class going on currently, but do we have any interns that are still working on theirs? That's all good. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. Just wanted to do a friendly reminder, if you haven't signed in yet, guests or members, please make sure to sign outside. We need a quorum for tonight. We're going to be double checking the list under Denise.
Everybody needs it?
Yes. Everyone sign in. Okay? So just flag her down. She'll get it to you here in just a minute. We're going to do things a little bit different order tonight, so bear with us. First off, we're going to have Claire come and give the treasurer report, because she has somewhere she's got to be here in a little bit, but she was gracious enough to come give you the report instead of me giving it to you, which I know we all appreciate.
Okay. Hi. Hi. Speak loud. That way I can move around. Okay. We did one thing different this year in that, this month, in that we opened a money market account for $25,000. We took it from the checking account and put it into a money market account, and it's earning 4 point, don't quote me the percentage. So, for the month of July, I opened it July 1st or 2nd or 3rd or something, it earned $80. $80 that we do not have to have a plant sale for. So, we will use that as needed, so it can shift back and forth. We're just letting $25,000 earn interest, and the rest, the $8,000, as needed for a regular monthly. So, still usable, still, whatever. Any questions on that? Okay. Here's our income. The canning class is doing great this year. It was the September, and the class at 40 is starting on. So our income is $2,000 for the month. It's $13,000, almost $800 for the year to date. Our expenses were not anything great and noticeable this month. It's hot. And so our total expenses were $627, and so the net was a gain of $1,400. So for the year to date, we have spent $2,300 more than we've taken in, and that's not bad. Part of that got transferred to the education class. We're just fine. Let's see. All right, so what is next is, if any of you POCs have a question on what is remaining on your budget for the year 2024, just let me know. I've answered some of them, and I'll look at others. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer that. Then it's that time for application for approval for funding of projects. I believe you're going to get this in the mail, not in the mail, and via email to the point of contact people for you to fill this out for your project. Whether it be a garden or a fundraiser or pumpkins or Christmas trees, whatever. And what's important is the details. I don't care if you spend the same amount as you did the prior year, we need to know the details. Because if you just put a blanket, $200, we don't know, and we need to know, because we've got to spread that money to multiple projects. So we've got to know this, and we really need, we're going to, Sarah will talk later, we're going to talk to the
So,
There you go. September 15th is your deadline. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to talk on it some more as well. So we're just making sure we cover it all.
Here's my time for Tim.
Oh.
Tim, you're listening? I'm going to go to another organization that has other kinds of plants. We plant and people. But lovingly plant people.
Thank you so much. And tonight we have a guest speaker. Travis wanted to come and talk to the membership this evening, so hand it over to you, sir.
Well, thank you for that. If I'd known I was going to go claws, I would come more often. So I appreciate that. Just a couple things that I want to address with the membership this evening. I'm not here to chew on anybody or make anybody mad or do anything like that. So if that's what you're thinking, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about that. I just want to give you guys some words of encouragement and address a few things that probably need to be addressed to make this organization function better and be better. Okay. First thing I want to do is thank you guys. Okay. I mean, you see the chairs that are full in here tonight, and this is a great organization, guys. And y'all do great things. Y'all do great things. With the number of people that you reach and the projects that you do, it's awesome, okay? I will put you guys up against any Master Gardener program that we have throughout the state. You guys are good, okay? But in order for us to stay good, we have got to start working together a little bit more and a little bit better, okay? We've got a board of directors that volunteer their time that you elect most of them that are on there, okay? I have spent a lot of time this year going to the board of directors meetings and just seeing what they do and how they're conducting themselves. And I will tell you from the bottom of my heart, they have your best interest at hand when they're in those meetings and doing things that they're doing, okay? We would not have an organization if we didn't have a board. And if we did not have an organization, we wouldn't need a board. Okay? And if we don't have a board, there's no reason for you guys to be here. Okay? So we've got to work together in order to make this work and to make it be feasible and to make it run smoothly. I would encourage you, if you have a question for the board, all you have to do is call Sarah or the president or whoever's at that time and say, hey, I want a little time at the board meeting. All right? I got a question. I got a suggestion. I may have something that may make this work better as far as that is concerned. And don't be scared to do that, please. Please don't be scared to do that. Okay? I guarantee you they will encourage that and accept that and they want your input as far as that's concerned. But y'all know as well as I do, we have a bunch of these board members this year that are going to go away. Okay? They're not going to, some of them are even elected that aren't going to come back and be a part of the board next year as far as that is concerned. Okay? So when you see these things up here where they're looking for volunteers and they're looking for point of contacts and they're looking for people in the membership to step up, please don't be scared to do that. Okay? They need your help. They can't do it all themselves. They need your help. So, well, I want to encourage you to step up into one of those roles. And that's not going to be designed for each one of you. I understand that. I know we're all busy. We're all busy. We all have personal lives. We all have things going on. But I just want you to, if you can, and you're able, and you're willing, it's a great opportunity to step up in one of those roles and help this organization be the best it can be. Okay? You look at your projects list and things that are coming out. I mean, your list is long. Okay? But there's probably some of those things on that list that have been dropped because we don't have people that are willing to step up and do some of those things. Okay? So in order for us to continue to bring new people into this organization, to train new members to do things, we've got to have things for them to do. Okay? So if those projects are not being filled or updated, and we don't have anything for these new interns and everything coming to do, why are we training them? Okay? So in order for us to, everybody saw the mission that was up there earlier, you know, in order for us to continue to educate the people here in Guadalupe County in the area of horticulture, which is what your main mission is to do, is education outreach. Service comes with that, fun comes with that, social events come with that. That's all part of it, that's great, and it's supposed to be. I mean, if you were a part of an organization where all you had to do is come work your time off every time you went somewhere, would you continue to go? Probably not, okay? So we don't want that, but we want people to step up in order to do the things that we need to get done in a timely manner to help everybody out in this organization do what we need to do. Okay? That's all I wanted to say. Like I said, I'm not here to make anybody mad. It's not my goal. My goal is to be here to support you guys. Okay? And I told the board this the other night. I take partial blame for some of the miscommunication and things that have happened over this past year. Part of that is my fault. And the reason that is I want this organization to survive if I retire tomorrow. Okay? Because we've had situations in the past where the agent leaves. The agent does a lot of all the stuff, putting the classes together, running the projects, doing all that. For one, I don't have time to do all that. And two, if I leave tomorrow, I know this organization is going to survive and it's going to prosper. And that is my entire goal. Okay? So what I want to leave you with is this. If you need help with anything, I am right down that hall. Okay? In my office. My email is out there. My phone number is out there. If you ever have any questions of me or need any help from me or for anything, please do not hesitate to contact me as well. Okay? Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
You're not going to retire, are you?
Oh, no, no. Do I look like I got that kind of money in the bank? No, I have to continue to work for at least 3 or 4 years. No, not going to retire. I got to make sure Kay survives this next presidency. All right, thank y'all again. Thank you for what you do. I appreciate what you do. Y'all make me look good. And when I say that, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Y'all, what y'all do makes me look good. And I appreciate that. The Commissioners Court appreciates that. They wouldn't give us this building if we didn't have organizations like this that are doing good things. Okay? And y'all are a very, very big part of that. And I appreciate what you do. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay. So now back to our normal scheduling. So first, I would like to call for a motion to approve and vote the membership meeting minutes for July 18th, 2024. If you've had a chance to look at them and there were no changes or anything. Motion, Bill.
Second.
Paul or Pam? Whichever.
Got it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And just for FYI, the July and August board meeting minutes are now posted in EMS as well. If you would like to look through those, that's always a good way to kind of see what we're doing in the board meetings. There is a lot going on through there. If you ever have any questions, you can always ask us, email us, get some more information about what we see on there. And as a reminder, the board meetings are the second Thursday of each month. We start at 6 p.m. until we finish. If we need to have a separate meeting for something, we will, if it's taking even longer than our normal long. But we work really hard for you guys and sacrifice that night to make sure we get it all done as much as we can. So with that, we meet up in our office upstairs, and please arrive early. And if we find that like 10 minutes before the meeting we are overflowing, if there's room in any of the extra meeting rooms, nobody else is meeting, then we'll move and adjust accordingly. Oh, and if you want to be added to the agenda, like you said, just contact us, preferably by Wednesday, because sometimes we download it the day before the agenda for everything with that. Just so we make sure everybody has a space on it. Ah, and I told you I would talk about this too. So we just decided we'd just super cover it, and that way it's all there. So the budget project application reminders, again, September 15th is the deadline. Turn it in to Claire. The application is on VMS, and I believe, Denise, can they fill it out on the form too? No, not on that one? Okay, just print it.
If they want it mailed to them, or however, but you also have to.
We want to make sure that you have access to it, and I believe Maria's going to email it to the current POC, so she hasn't already. Okay. And does anyone want one tonight? I'll have them. Oh, there you go. We just wanted to make sure everybody had a chance to get a copy. If you didn't have a printer working or whatever the case, we do have it. So once we have the applications, Claire did talk about this a little bit, an email will be sent out with details to meet with each of the POCs. So each project is going to have a small amount of time with the board to discuss their project so that we make sure to cover any questions either side has about the project, just so that there's nothing unclear about it. And that we know before we have the budget meeting, we know everything about it. We're like, oh, this is why they like this. This is what they need. This is the history behind it, because a lot of us are newer. We need to know your history, and we want to make sure that everything's fair and good to go. So I'll have a quick one. We can do it with Google Meet, we can do it in person, or we can do it by phone. So we'll send out probably what's the volunteer one that we use? Sign Up Genius?
The Sign Up Genius, so we're gonna set up a Sign Up Genius so the POC leaders can make an appointment to meet with us.
So once we see how you guys want to, because on the form, I already said it, on the form it asks if you want to meet in person, Google Meet, or by phone. So once we kind of have an idea of how everyone wants to meet, then we can arrange those dates accordingly. So if nobody wants to meet in person, we don't need to be having a meeting here up in the board meeting room. If they all want to be by phone, or if you want to do it virtually, we can all do it from our homes. We'll set it up, and we'll have that time. And then, as I was remembering through things, the county fair gets in the way of our normal board meeting for that month, so we'll be having it on the 3rd. So it's just the Thursday before for the budget meeting. Upcoming plant sales. Currently, we have the county fair, the 10th through the 13th. And Kathleen will send out a volunteer sign-up email for all of that information. We'll have Confest on the 26th downtown, probably something down at Big Red Barn as well, like we did last year. And that will be sent out by Maria. And Kingsbury Yule Fest, it's all dependent on volunteers. I know April normally does Yule Fest. And if we have enough volunteers, we'll do Kingsbury again. So just going through, like he was saying, if we have enough volunteers, we'll do it. If you have any plants that you're getting ready for the upcoming plant sales, whether that's growing them from seed, or you're propagating them, or you have too many, which I don't think that's the thing, but let's just say it is. If you have too many plants, just make sure that if you can, contact us so we know, because we're going to be making purchases for wholesale plants. If we don't have any plants, nobody's told me, I want to have something at the booth that's live and green, and we are a gardening group, so I want something going on there. And I want to make sure that we have enough space in the booth for whatever you're bringing. If you call me and you're like, hey, I got 100 plants I'm bringing, I don't need buying it. We got plenty. It'll take up the space. And please make sure to label the plants. Some of you, I know you guys have a wealth of knowledge beyond what I can even dream of on some of the plants. and the phone can only guess so many of those plant identifiers. So please put the plant name on the tags, and if possible, put your name on the back. That's all. And with the craft parties, Benna and I are going to have a couple of craft parties that are interested, putting together something for the garden decor like we did last year, plant tags, the gnomes, that kind of thing. It encourages gardening as a family, makes great Christmas gifts as well. Won't take up very much room at the booth, but just something a little bit there, and if we do it here at the house, it is air conditioned. Well, no, mine would be air conditioned, now they fix it. And on to more official things. Tim Steele stepped forward as the TMGA Director Alternate. This past week, the board talked with him about that. So I wanted to present that for you guys tonight, Tim. Thank you so much for that. And then going on, Denise, have you been good quorum-wise? Oh, just double checking. So we have a nominee for the open 2024 position of president-elect. Based on the sign-in sheet, we have the 25% that we need to have a quorum and to proceed. So we have our nominee, Kay McGovey. Should have been before us. I would now like to open the floor for any other nominations, if anyone else would also like to throw their hat in for this position.
I'd rather nominate a couple folks.
So we have a motion to close the nomination and proceed with the election.
Do we have a second? Or
Need a second that.
I second it. Okay, we got lots. Okay, there we go. So I would ask that whenever you vote, please raise your hand so that we can count. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but still, please raise your hand so that we can vote. And if we say it like we normally do, it's harder to see. So all those in favor for President-elect Kay McKelvey, please raise your hands. Stay there, she's counting. Oh. Okay. All those against? Okey-dokey, the yeas have it, so thank you very much, Kay.
She did.
Ingrid.
Oh,
Yes, thank you. Do you have everything that you need, Beth? Yes. She is our lovely secretary this year, so I was just making sure she has everything that she needs for that. So going forward, Denise is going to come up with Starfish Awards.
So, like, you guys all know the drill, so Starfish is going to recognize anybody who's gone above and beyond, just anything that you just want to recognize and give them a Starfish. Somebody who's made a difference in their community or in our organization. Would anybody like to present a Starfish to anyone? People.
I would like to present this to somebody who really stepped up the last few years, has done a lot of different things, and given us all a lot of help and encouragement. He's always been the first one to give us shirt off his back if they asked him for it. And I would like to present this to Paul Carter.
can't say wait, so I was like, what? I want to say wait.
That's great. That's perfect. Thank you, Paul.
I just want to say, before I get my Starfish Award, I want to say thank you to Denise, because she's the person that kind of created the Starfish Award. And you know, it's been amazing through the months, the last, when did we start? A year ago or so? I don't know, forever ago. I don't know, not forever ago. But some long time ago, we started these. And I think it's just been a really great way for us to acknowledge people that we work with, that kind of deserve it, you know, kind of deserve it. The person I want to give this Starfish Award to is a little bit of a unsung hero in our group, you know. She kind of works back behind the scenes a little bit, you know, and she has just recently stepped up to do a big project for us, the work on the calendar, and that's Pat Adams. She is our Facebook person. If you get on Facebook and you see any kind of gardening information, it should likely be coming from her. And I wanted to do this calendar project, and we pulled together a really nice little group of people that are going to do, you're going to learn a lot more about it in the next few months, but we're going to work on this calendar. And when I asked her if she would be interested, she almost jumped up and down, you know, so I'm like, yes, I really want to do it. So here it is, you were so good.
Okay, did you get a picture? Pictures? I'll be running away. Are you gonna do it? Get their picture later.
I would like to give 2 starfish out to 2 people who stepped right up and were members of the nominating committee. We were looking for volunteers, Ben was looking for volunteers for quite a while, trying to get people to be on the nominating committee, and they graciously volunteered.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Oh,
And I'm going to give a Starfish Award to each person who is on my tech team, to Paul Prince and to Heidi Brown. Heidi back there, she drives a long way to come here to do this, and so I just want to thank you guys. Thank you.
Come on up. Oh, I know you're kind. You're like my husband. You're in the tech area because you don't want to come up. There you go.
There you go.
Thank you, guys. Okay, do we have any others? Next, Ingrid. You shouldn't have even sat down for all with communications.
That was not funny. Okay, well, just a reminder, if anybody needs some advertising or marketing, we have a form that we have on the website where you can just fill it in and send it to me, so then I can figure out, what your project is, and when you need me to be there, and you have a nice team, we'll go out and we'll do the video or pictures or whatever we need on Facebook or wherever. We're going to put it on the website, whatever. But please let us know. One of the big things is that we don't the projects of the gardens. So if you can give him current photos, because he's gonna be putting them on the website. He's kind of doing a little revamp of the website and putting up some new photos of each project. And he actually has already made the pages on the website for the garden project. So if you guys can help him out with that, that would be great. Let's see. Oop. Oh, there you go. To the right one. Oh.
Now it's not like you push the different button.
It's okay. There we are. Okay. And hopefully this will start.
Oh, we put a slideshow within a slideshow? You're being special on it, so.
It worked before.
I didn't test it.
Oh, is it? There you go. There we go. There, baby. Okay. See it? So this is an example of what we do.
Is that too loud?
Need people to adopt a bed right now and in the future when we have 3 more beds after we begin a garden class. We need people to assist us with our project in the front of the garden where we're going to extend the edging and increase the rock coverage and make the bed more aesthetic. We need help with that. And then we generally just need more volunteers because we don't have enough.
That's beautiful. But yeah, so we want to do things like that for you guys. So right now, the current projects are, of course, the project spotlight, like the one I just showed. The Big Red Barn has an Ask the Master Burger campaign that's going to be going on for 7 Saturdays in September and in October. The only Saturday it's not going, no one's going to be there is October the 12th because of the fair. So we also, I'm starting to do some videos of individual master gardeners. And I'm asking you guys why you decided to become a master gardener. And so we put that on Facebook and we're needing to fill out our Instagram so that people get why we do it. Then we also have the spring class campaign that we're doing, and we put up some things on Instagram, but we need to get busy with that too. We also have a video that we're going to be doing and some promotionals. We've also done some things out in the community where we're passing out flyers to people. Bill has got a huge following in the libraries, and so we're doing a lot of handing out of things there. The libraries are promoting us as well. And then I'm trying to work on getting more organic advertising because we don't want to spend a whole lot of money on things. We kind of keep it, we want a lot of people to know about us, but we're trying to do it organically. So I've been putting things into 3 community calendars. I'm looking into the HOAs and neighborhood associations. So if you guys can let me know about your neighborhood association and your HOA, if they have a newsletter or Facebook page or something, we need to be on there. Sharing, hey, come to these meetings, come to Lunch and Learn, come to to our lecturers. A lot of people are building new homes, and they want to put in gardens, they want to put in lawns, and we have all the information for them. They don't have to pay a whole bunch of money, it's free. They just need to come, so they need to know that we're here. And then,
I have a quick question though. If they want to do a video for your Master Garden campaign, how do you want them to contact you, or are you gonna hold like an event, or what are you?
oh, well, yeah, well, the Ask Your Master Gardener campaign that we're doing right now is over Big Red
This
Barn.
one, the why am I a Master
Why am
Gardener?
I the Master Gardener? I figured I would be going out to the projects. And, because I already have one person already. I have Janice, she did one. And so I just figured I'd go, to the garden projects and then find y'all at your, doing your thing. A lot of people want to get all prettied up and dusted up and all of that. I want to see you working. I want to see. That's what people want to know.
We won't be very gussied up, we'll be very tired.
Working, so I'm gonna get y'all working. However, if y'all wanna set up something, we can do that too. We can make it, do a little more of a professional thing as well, if that's how you want to do it. I really wanted to get y'all, doing your work, teaching people and doing all the things that you do.
Just check it out.
All right, okay, so, this is us. We made it into Shirts Magazine. We're on it. What was it, a lunch and learn on composting?
Yes.
That was Seguin, right? Seguin Library, yeah.
Shirts.
Shirts Library. The water bath pen workshop that we advertised on Facebook. I think it was, 2 weeks and it was sold out?
The next one is about, we have 10 in the first class and 5 in the second class already. And we still have the county fair to go, so.
Wow, so this is like
Go on quick.
huge. And then we have the spring beginners class, and so we're asking people to, to register, but we have that up too. And then we also have our Ask a Master Gardener ad for the Big Red Barn. And we have that also on Facebook, and we're also promoting it in the community. Janice has a team of people, and they're going out and they're talking to people and putting up little flyers. So this is what we're doing for communication. And we're going to continue on. Oh, there's one other thing that I wanted you guys to put a bug in your ear. We are, because this organization is growing, we are wanting to have our own machines and server. Right now, we have individuals who are doing amazing jobs, Frank and David, who have the servers and have archived most of the things that we have. But we're needing to have our own, to have dedicated passwords. And I'm thinking we need to do a hybrid thing, so we have also the physical server, machine, and then also maybe do something with like Amazon Cloud Service, which would really be cool, because then everyone, or the POCs, or I guess board members, whomever Kay decides, will have passwords for their sections. She and Travis would hold the master password. So if something happened to someone that got hit by a car or whatever, and we don't know their password, Kay and Travis would have the master password to be able to keep this organization moving and rocking. At this point, we don't have that. Some happen to David, some happen to Frank. I don't know what would happen. I don't know. Because it's on their machine. So we need to.
It's controlled by the state.
Yeah.
You just send it to support. If something happened to me,
That's what Frank did.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty good then. But we still need to make sure that we have all the passwords, that, something happens, we're covered. It's just what it is. This organization needs to breathe in and out, even if we're not breathing in and out. It needs to be able to rock and roll on its own. It has a life now. And all of you are like the blood vessels in it. You're giving it life, and as we go on, we need to have it go on too. So that's what I'm trying to do for our communication section.
Thank you so
Thank
much. And even though you've only been here for a portion of the time, it contributed so much, and we really appreciate all that you've done.
volunteer director, so this is my report. So the approved project document is going to be updated again with the new errors that someone pointed out. I want to remind everybody again, this is a living document, so it's constantly getting updated, and there's some parks that choose to leave. It's not that we get together and we like to leave parks as we choose. That doesn't happen. There's some parks that don't get support from the city anymore, so they drop off because they choose to, and so forth. So again, that's a living document, and it's going to get updated again, right, when the approved projects for this next year come up. I did update the latest one on EMS. A recap, on July 25th, we had a POC projects lead meeting, and it was very successful. We talked about some highlights, whether there's going to be a fall master garden class next year. We brought that up to the team that's currently running the class, so they can look into that. We brought up advertising marketing funds that we didn't know that we had, and discussed that more. There were a few parks and gardens that were asking for plants and seeds. So I sent an email out. Some parks and gardens, they are in need of some things, like Dennis Park in Shirts. They need some new sprinkler, what do you call it, nozzles or whatever, because we're hand watering everything right now, especially during this hot summer. And because of the hard water, those nozzles have rusted and they're not good anymore. So you're probably saying like, well, the parks have a budget, right? Well, budgets run out, right? So if you guys have anything laying around your house that you're not even using, anymore, one of the parks can use it. So I did send out an email about that. Marion Park would benefit from any seeds you may have. There is a box back there. I had mentioned, thank you. There's a box back there. I had mentioned that I was going to have a box. Someone graciously donated a blower to the Marion Veterans Park, so thank you for that. So the list is on the email that I sent. So there's like a lot of things on there. So if you are gracious enough to donate that, great. Contact me, and then I'll get with the POC on that. And we talked about the project leads, the application for the next calendar year. The volunteer director position will be open for next year. I have decided not to renew my position next year. So we are going to be looking for somebody. So there's your chance to jump up and get right in there and do some good stuff for the organization. And that's all I have. So thank you for your time.
You have also done so much for that position this year. Thank you so much. So, the volunteers need to get paid for her.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did want to mention that Polly Mansion is on, they're out of town right now, and they're not going to pick back up until the fall, late fall. So they're going to get back in touch with me. So I think they go up north for the summer because it's so hot here. So. I don't blame them.
But they're staying with us, they're not going to the Wilson County one?
If anybody's interested in your job, they need to get on the shadow program, so they can.
Oh, that's a good idea. So if you're interested in being the volunteer director, you can get with me, you can start shadowing me to see what I do and do that. Good point.
Makes transition a little easier.
So to answer the question about is Polly Mansion going to go to Wilson County now, from my understanding, they're not. So unless, they come back and they decide to, but as of now, they're going to stay here.
Good. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Polly Mansion, yeah.
He told me that he would like to, because they're very dedicated to the history of that, since they've always been with us.
Yes.
He would like it to stay.
Yeah, and that was my understanding also.
And recording, photographing, we've talked about this, is nothing new for you guys. Nominating committee, so if you wanted to talk to Benna, Bill had to step out, but Benna's right here. Trying to hurry, because I know we need to start here. County Fair, I'm Kathleen, this is her last year, so if you are interested in what she does and getting a group together, because that woman is Superwoman. I don't know how she does it. But everybody as a group could shadow her and learn how everything goes. Cool. Okay. Wendy, and you want to come up and introduce? We will have time for a short break, so if you guys need to use the bathroom, you are adults.
Okay.
month, we're gonna have Nikki. She helps us at St. Andrews sometimes. She's with the Wildflower Native American Seed Company. And her topic is gonna be snakes in the garden. And I understand that some of them may come with her. So I think it's gonna be good. And, it's one of those things when they tell you what they're gonna do, you just say, okay. So another thing that we've done so much tonight, and I know we're rushed, but the nominations are open for the open offices. Yeah, for the board of directors. They're still open until October. And then we'll, at that point, we'll have an election and they'll be elected in November, right? Okay. So we didn't really talk about that. I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that. So we're not taking
We're supposed to start at
I know, I'm with you. And in respect of their time, we're going to go ahead and let me introduce to you,
and I will bring his stuff up.
Dr. Steve Granger. You know him. He taught us when we were Master Gardener interns. And he comes back for lunch. He comes back for meetings. And this time, not only is he going to impart his wisdom on, for you all that haven't heard it, he's going to teach us how to spread it. So that's our duty as Master Gardeners is education. So let's educate people with what he is kind enough to show us. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Did you make a copy of it?
Sure, absolutely.
Did you make a copy of it? Okay. Sorry, we find it. I should have made a copy.
It is nice to be back in Seguin and see all of the friendly faces from Guadalupe County. I feel kinship with y'all. I've been over here several times now, on other projects. And it's always a delight to be here because I know you bring the best goodies over here. And the other thing I really appreciate about your association is you're really interested in the land. You really work to get the plants. And we're a little envious because Guadalupe County has more dirt and better dirt than we have. So we're a little envious. And so, is that okay?
This one?
Yes, sir.
There we go, okay.
Say that again.
I only do this once a month, so there we go. Here is this.
That's 123. The outer lanes in. What are you talking about? That's 123. Yeah, that's outdoor learning center. It used to be the outdoor learning center. The school pretty much opened.
Sorry for the delay. Okay. He says he's got a big voice. Can you hear him? Tell him.
I can talk really loud, so everybody can hear. In fact, that's one of my band directors said I was a shoe in for drumming when I was in high school. I got a great story to tell you. We were marching at a parade in Shreveport, Louisiana. And you know how parades form, they put you up a side street until they were ready to bring that whole side street in and join the parade. And our band was the first band to come on. There were 4 bands behind us. And I got in front of our band, and I called it to attention, and all 5 bands down the street called to attention. And my band director just doubled over and laughed, and he said, I knew I picked the right guy with the big band. So that's my moment of glory. Tonight, I want to talk to you about what we've been able to achieve. Before we go any farther, I want to introduce one of my partners in this venture. Reggie Goods is sitting right up here. Reggie is one of our new members, and he's a vendor, trained me, and he comes from a background in the electrical industry, worked for Houston Power Money, and he brings that expertise to our team. So when we go out and visit the people about land harvesting, he can talk to them about electricals just fine. He knows all about easements and that sort of thing too. Let's see if I've got this right. Not yet. There it is. Okay. This is today's drought map for the state of Texas. And it almost looks like there's a little heart right over, see the
The top button.
top side.
There you go. Hold it down. There you go.
There. It's almost like it's got a little heart over central Texas where we are. And that's kind of nice to see. But the message is that it's still drought. And y'all are in what, stage 1, I believe?
2.
Give it that, right?
I got a call today that was 2.
Got 2? Okay. We're in 4. And Canyon Lake is at its lowest level ever. Maybe 2 weeks, maybe 2 months ago, it was a little lower. But it's unusually low. And so the rain was a big help, but it just squeaked it up a little bit. And because it's so low, we're exercising the stage 4 as a hedge against a further loss. So tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about what has our team been doing, how did it form, and what has been the effect in our community. When I say our community, we really started out just doing this for mainly the western half of Pinal County. And now we're in like 5 counties. And that's a great testimony to the reception of our message. That it really resonates with people everywhere. Let's see, in the near term, I'm speaking again, let's see, next Monday in Rio Verde. I'm speaking again on Thursday of next week in Garden Ridge. And then down at one of the HOAs, and then same day. And anyway, I've got 5 or 6 talks lined up in the near term at libraries and HOA organizations. And let's see, it was a week ago last night, I spoke to an HOA in, it's actually where Reggie lives, Vantage Oaks in the central part of Pinal County. And they were wanting rain barrels. They wanted to know about rain barrels. And so we gave a talk on that. And we had about 65 chairs set up. And 105 showed up. And everybody wants to get a rain barrel now because they're going to allow it. And it turns out, right on the heels of that, our water company offered free rain barrels. One per customer, but across the whole surface area. That's thousands of barrels. Pretty big deal. It happened at a time where I had just gone to San Antonio and bought 60 barrels at an auction. And so we're going to still move our 60 barrels. I mean, all of the barrels are going to go. But again, what is our message tonight is success. And if you want to share in that success, we're happy to teach you how to do what we do and start your own water conservation team and do exactly what we've been achieving. I can tell you the rewards are huge. There's plenty of work in it, so I appreciate Travis Frank saying that you've got an opportunity to do more volunteer. Well, we've got more work to offer you. If you want to get into rainwater harvesting and water conservation, we can show you a pathway to really getting the attention of the public, because everybody's hungry for that. There are all kinds of worrisome questions about how much water we're going to have in the future. And the answer is kind of murky, hard to say exactly. So being prepared, becoming a scout again, be prepared is probably your best practice. Now, say all of that to say, this rain bee is wanting to tell you a little story. And when we talk about water conservation, you know, everybody has their own idea. Use less, need less. If I can't eat it, I'm not going to water it. You know, I've heard a lot of people say that. So they're letting their landscape die, but in the long run, most people don't want to let their landscape die. Who would? I mean, we love those plants. That's why we chose those particular plants. And it really is a shame to have to replant later. So, if you're going to avoid replanting, you've got to have a little bit of water. So you start out by doing drought tolerance landscaping. And then you've got a source of water that comes from either a water provider or a private well. Oh, I did it again. Sorry. From a water provider, a private well, or a rainfall. We just give the old average for Canal County was 34 inches per year. We haven't achieved that lately. So really, technically, we start talking about 30 inches. We hope that we don't have to start talking about 24 inches. Just generally, and I tell this to everybody that listens, I'll make a comment on how I'm dressed. This is my brand. I often wear a yellow shirt, and my daughter used to teach drama classes to middle school kids. And I went to the school one time dressed with a yellow shirt and this, and they said, "Where are the goggles, Minion?" Anyway, this is my brand. I've got my identification embroidered on it. And I run into people on the street now dressed this way, and they stop me and want to talk about rainwater harvesting. It's wonderful. I go to check out at groceries, and the gal checking me out says, "Well, how are things in the world of water?" She said that to me just the other day. And this shirt happens to be a shirt that was handed out to all of the volunteers that worked a gathering over in Luling. Some of you may know David over that way. And we had done a training program for Gonzales County, and he was in that class, their Master Gardener class. And so now he's interested in doing the same thing with rainwater harvesting. So he's doing talks as well. Let's see, next September 10th, we're going to give the training classes for water, water conservation, rainwater harvesting, irrigation efficiency. We're going to do the whole thing all over again for a new Master Gardener Association, Wilson County and Floresville. We're going to start that new group down there. And so we get around. I mean, we're just everywhere. And it's a great feeling to accomplish this. We are heading this off just to simply say, if we are going to have less, let's use what we're getting better. And you know that behind this flag is the 4-H motto, to make the best better. Well, if you look on our website, we kind of plagiarized it a little bit. We said we want to make the West better. I'm going to talk over here now a little while. Okay, in fact, I can go all the way to the end, that way I'm not in front of somebody. The elements of our team were pretty simple. When this started, our county agent called for a meeting at the AgriLife Center, and it was open to the public. It was not a Master Gardener program. It was open to the whole county. And what they wanted was people from different parts of our society to participate in this understanding that water is going to become a key resource, much more so than it has been. And people that showed up for that were, there were some real estate agents, there were some people that are in the news media down that way, and, but it was mostly Master Gardeners that showed up. And we had Larry show up, who was representing the Trinity Groundwater Conservation District. Now, when we had that group of people in the room, we said, okay, how do we make more public awareness of where this is headed? Because it was drifting in a bad direction, and we knew that 4 years ago. In fact, it's almost 5 years ago now. And then came the pandemic. It kind of derailed things for a while, and so we weren't holding meetings. And Larry and I said, we can't let this die. And in the course of the pandemic, our county agent was moved up to work in emergency relief programs. So he's working out of the Uvalde Center now. And he works statewide. The most recent big project he had was the grass fires up in the Panhandle. But we keep Troy Lukey aware of how the team has progressed. He appreciates that. Between Larry and me, we just simply said we've got to form some kind of identifiable thing. And we came up with grain beans. The idea behind that was the bees, not the buzzing pollinator, but the letter B. The bankers, the builders, the beneficiaries. And that's worked pretty well because we've now actually conducted presentations to whole real estate companies, to bankers. We've got 3 banks now that have decided that they think it's a good idea to roll a rainwater harvesting system into the mortgage, just like you used to do for wells. We're wanting more, but they're not all the banks are on board with that, and we'd like to keep moving in that direction. We coordinated with both the MBU system and the Texas Water Company for shared time together to talk about ideas in terms of water conservation and how could those companies support us, not financially, but by providing a platform for us to the public. And they've done that. Now, it starts with the people, and not just master gardeners, as I said. You want to bring in other people. You want to bring in those people that are really engaged. It's one thing to have a volunteer in name only. It's another to have an engaged volunteer who has the passion to get out there and do some of the things we do. Now, I'm going to say one thing that I might scare some of you away, but I don't want to. I've already put in 130 hours this year. Okay, going out and visiting folks. It doesn't seem like, well, it seems like a lot, probably to some folks, but it's actually a lot. Last year at this time I was about 220 hours out. And I guess it's the driving that is the biggest factor, because we go out and we visit people's homes. I've driven 3,400 miles, and altogether 26,000. So it's almost like I'm consuming a car. But that's because it was just Larry and me for a long time. And we were always buzzing around in the county. And I live way out on the north side of the county, so it's 50 miles to anywhere. You know, it's 50-mile round trip for me to go to New Braunfels or to go to Pulverde, you know, and so I'm just on the edge of society, I guess, out there in the north side of the county. Going back to the elements, we not only want to have people that are engaged, but you've got to train people. They bring a terrific skill set already to the table. It's not exactly the same for Comal County. I know, looking at everybody in this room, y'all are just a lot younger than us. You know, this is really a young crowd. And but in our side, we've got mostly retirees, and everybody comes from discipline. We've got people that were really good at, say, public relations or communications. We've got people that were really good at engineering. Hardly any of us came out of an agriculture background. We came out of something else and then drifted to agriculture because who's got the shirt on tonight that says, it's my therapy? Yes, that's kind of the way we all feel about it. It's our therapy. Doing the training, Larry and I have been training our team members, and we would train your team members if you wish. So, training is not expensive, it costs nothing. We'll come to you, we'll do the training. But we provide materials for them as well. We give them guidebooks with pictures of the equipment, estimates of what the project might cost. And we have established kind of a first line of information. If you want the really hard numbers, now you have to go get a contractor to find out what he's really going to charge. But we give the ballpark. In fact, you've seen Larry's presentation on ballpark for calculating the catchment area. We're ballpark people. When I say enlisted support from the stakeholders, those are the people that have something to benefit from having the public more aware. Who would that be? Well, your water company, for one. Your water company stands to benefit when you say, well, we don't want to put a demand on the water company for potable water that you're going to just dump on the garden. Okay? They know that. And they know that if you do that work for them, they'll have more reserves in the future for the people that are moving in. So they'll be able to supply water to them as well. So they're a stakeholder. If you have a county that is in the news all the time because you don't have enough water, it's not very good for your business across the board in your county. Because people don't want to move there. They don't want to go there and do business if they feel like it's a stressful place to try to live. So when you take that burden away, and especially when they see you working as a volunteer to try to make the county better, and Master Gardeners are the flagship organization, as far as I'm concerned, in every county for doing that, then when they see you doing that work for water, it's thumbs up. It's a plus for the county. The structure of the organization is simple. We don't get tied down to a lot of bureaucrat stuff. We don't have a bunch of written policies and so on. We just simply say, we're not going to make any money doing this. We don't charge anything for anything, period. It's all free. We don't get reimbursed for our mileage. We don't do any of that. I mean, the Master Gardener program does not pay anything on our program. They do kind of a go-between. We buy rain barrels, they buy them from us, then we sell them, the money goes to the Master Gardener program. And we don't really do a profit margin on that. Am I going too fast? Okay. Any questions at this point? Okay. You have to have a demonstration site. If you don't have one that's done by the county, you have to find some person that would volunteer to allow you to come to their home and look at how they set up their rain harvesting system. It would even be better if you could get the county or the city to do a rain project. Maybe on a school, you may find a church that's willing to do that, but you need a site where you can show how the rain is collected and put in a tank. People don't learn all the time just by reading about it in a newspaper or an article, or sitting in a class and having some boring lecturer talk to them and tell them all about it. What they like to learn from is to go see it. That's how they really learn. And that's why I emphasize you to have a demonstration site. And these web tools, Ingrid, sounds like you're really on board with this, totally. We have to have that electronic presence because we're trying to reach all the people in the county, and a lot of younger crowd. That's all they look at. And so if you're not in front of them there, they don't see it. Not disparaging the younger crowd. That's their culture now. I'm talking about my grandkids.
I'm interested in that demonstration site. Are you focusing on making rainwater potable water or just having it available for use in the garden?
Either. Now, if you find a site that does both, then the same site you could show the extension to the potable. That's a plus at Larry's house. Larry's facility does everything. Plus, he has 2 different styles of irrigation systems for his garden. So he gets to show you can do it this way or you can do it that way. And that works out really well. Because everybody comes with kind of a preconceived idea of how they do it.
When are we going to Larry's house?
I want a road trip.
You're always welcome to go to Larry's house. He loves to have people come over. And seriously, you've got my email. I'm sure you got my email. And if y'all want to come over, just let us know when you're coming. We'll make an extra big pot of tea.
I'm going to bring ice chest through today.
How do you reach the public? This is the hardest part really is structuring for that, because we like to do things and we like to do it right here and we hope they come and watch. And it's hard to go out there and do it. You can't take a demonstration garden in the car with you and show them. You can sell them plants, you can take plants to them, but in the idea of getting out in the public, we started out by simply putting out information in booths, in other organizational presentations. We went to the farmer's market, we went to kids programs and that sort of thing. And so people started seeing us, and they started finally picking up our cards. And then they finally started going to our website. And as soon as they got that, it was like the fisherman saying, you set the hook. And they came back, and they started calling us, and they started going to the website. And our website statistics show that this year we have doubled the hits on our site. And that's a good news story.
That's awesome.
Once you get out there well enough, then you start holding your own events and speaking to groups. I saw that you're looking for speakers for your speaker bureau. A lot of people don't feel comfortable talking to groups. You probably can tell that Larry and I do not have a problem talking to groups. We love it. But we have roles to play within our organization that don't involve speaking to the group. Now, when somebody wants to, we're ready to step aside and let them go. We have, up to now, been bringing in guest speakers who are subject matter experts. Monday I spoke on composting, but the week before that, we had a nursery owner come in and talk about xeriscape choices in plants. And that was a very good program. And when she finished, she said, anybody here that wants to come to my nursery and you say rain bee, I'll give you a 10% discount. Wow, we were shocked by that. That was really amazing. We're having our next Monday session, we're having the arborists for the city of Laverde talk about pruning. We're getting now close to the pruning season, so he's giving a good talk on that, which he did last year for us. We spoke for an hour and a half every Monday since June 3rd. And that's a lot of time spent talking about water, talking about plants, talking about landscaping. We brought in experts on grasses for this area, for the Comal County area. You broaden the interest in the community by having talks that even go outside of master gardening. And some of those talks were actually master gardener talks, but we had someone else do it. Now, it's going to client homes and doing evaluations for them. Reggie here, what, we've done 5 this week? 5 this week. And those were mostly rain barrels. They went to our rain barrel presentation, and they have the bug, and they're wanting to put in lots of rain barrels. And I would say we're going to end up moving on, I'm guessing, over 100 rain barrels, probably 150 rain barrels. But some of those people have said, you know, I recognize that a rain barrel is sort of a start, but it can't do the whole job. I've got too much to water. And so talk to me about a tank. So now we have an entrance of a rain barrel talk to do a rain harvesting tank. And then we invite them to our demonstrations. We have a demonstration site at Larry's house that is by far the best. He really does the full 9 yards. And he never tires. He never tires of doing this. He's walked people through there. Hundreds of people have gone through his place. And we share our examples on the web so people can get a relationship with somebody. This is really exciting. We're at the end next week of our 13-week series in Laverde. And 2 weeks ago, I asked everybody, we had 56 people, crowd about the size of this, there, and I said, you got to know people that you didn't know before you came to this talk. I mean, all of these were strangers to each other. And they started talking about the rainwater harvesting, or they started talking about lawn management, and there's friendships all struck up. And I said, okay, I've got the back half of the restaurant reserved next Monday. How many people will come and join us for lunch? 18. 18 out of 56 are gonna be there for lunch. And they go tell their friends, and they talk about it. You need to get involved in this program. So last year, the library only gave us a meeting room that would hold 40 people. This year, they gave us a meeting room that would hold 80 people. They've already told us they're gonna give us the whole wing next year. And we share our data about water conservation, and you've seen it if you've gone to our website. All the data that we glean out of the public on the cost of equipment, who to talk to, the choices that you have. We don't push you toward anyone. We just simply say, here are all of the people you need to check with and get your own opinions today. And not only are the contractors happy, we're happy. And the clients are ecstatic. They said, man, you've done all the legwork for us. We just made a few phone calls. That's all it was. And they showed up at our place and started taking money. And again, we share links to other organizations. Our links go to the Native Plant Society, goes to Master Gardeners, goes to the Groundwater Conservation District. How many of y'all know who's on your Groundwater Conservation District board? Go meet them. Go get to know them. Let them know what you're thinking about water, because they want to hear that. They'd like to know that the public is also concerned. Now, how are we doing? You know, I told you early on, people recognize me with this. Remember the TV show Cheers, where everybody knows your name? Okay, Larry and I are known far and wide across, not just Comal County, but multi-counties now. We have people come up to us in restaurants and say, hey, aren't you again? Also, our publicity is really broad. We are now publishing articles in the Texas Garden magazine, and I saw that you're publishing down in shirts. That's really great. That's perfect. That's what you want to do. Get out there in the crowd. And I'll tell you, I gave that talk last Monday on composting, and there was somebody there from shirts that I started talking to about catching the leaves, when they fall over the lawn. They bag them up, and they found a way to roll them and crush them in a pipe. And it forms these tubes of crushed leaves. No, I shouldn't say this.
Say it.
They roll up their shirt sleeves. I just made that up. There you go. We assist other organizations. I mentioned Native Plant Societies and garden clubs. We will jump at any opportunity to go speak at those groups, but also we provide them with information that they can do their own presentations. They can do their own salesmanship with regard to water conservation. Nothing we have is copyrighted. We make sure of that. We take our own pictures, so we're not pulling anything off of the internet. And that we do, we already have made sure that it's not copyrighted. And the point behind that is that we leave our presentations wherever we go. All 13 programs that we did this year for Bulverde Library are on the Bulverde Library website. And anybody that attended or just heard about the talk can go back and look at our entire presentation. It's absolutely for the public's good, not for us. And then that building the web presence, I mentioned that earlier, Ingrid. Now, statistical reporting to your web. And there it is. This is our quarterly report, which just happened to come out this week. And in terms of consultations in their homes, so far this quarter we've done 38. For the year, we've done 75. Last year, we did 147. We are, in terms of people visiting our harvesting sites. We had 92 last year, we've had 127 up to now. Our water conservation articles published, 4 different magazines. We have published 13 this quarter, 37 for the year. Now, some of those, it's the same story in different magazines. What we're trying to reach as much audience as we can. Then here are the attendees for the Mammoth Library talks that we gave. The first one was on aquifers. We had 45. Rain harvesting, we had 57. We had another rain harvesting, and we had 15 more. This was at a different venue. Rain barrels and weekend gardens, we had 54. Drip irrigation, 47. Landscape lawn care, 45. Fixing and finding leaks in your home, 43. And we had Charlie B come and talk about beekeeping. We had 38 come. We talked to you guys on drip irrigation, and we had 35 attendees. We went out to Rockpool Ranch, HOA, spoke on aquifers and rain harvesting, had 42 show up for that. We spoke at the Mammoth Library for xeriscaping. We had 30 show up for that. We had 44 show up for my talk on rain gardens. We had Joanne Hall speak on bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds. We had 31. I was thrilled for that. I did a vintage oaks presentation, 105. Composting Monday was 43. And then Chamber of Veterans Breakfast, we had 21 show up for that. Mammoth Family Library printing, well, that's coming up. Spoke to the, these are all upcoming presentations. There's quite a few of those, probably 25. This is, we don't do this to get funding. We do this to let the people know that are backing us that we're getting out here. They know that we're working tirelessly to make this happen. And the last part of this report is that we recognize 3 new solid volunteers working with them. Reggie being one, and Chuck McCollum being another, and Joe DiPasquale is another. And Joe DiPasquale actually took Larry's place on the board of directors of the Trinity Groundwater Conservation District. So that's what we do. And that's a measure of our success is that the number of people that are following us and coming to our presentations. And I got to tell you, it is one of the most satisfying things I've ever done. Really. And it'll be that way for you too. And if you want to start a team process over here, we will nurture you, get you out of the nest and on your wings. So just let us know. Any questions? Sure, questions.
Steve?
That's the next slide.
Steve?
Question. It's not really a question. The last time you were here, that I was here, you gave out bags of long beans, yard-long beans.
Yeah.
We started doing yard-long beans at the Red Barn. We get a much higher production. And for those of you who have not tried yard-long beans, they taste just like regular green beans. But if you planted bush beans, they stop producing about the end of June, the 1st of July. The yard-long beans, I just pulled up mine. I planted mine before the Red Barn. I pulled up mine last week. I had planted for fall new yard-long beans 3 weeks ago. They already started producing. They like the heat. So you should know that if you like beans and you live here, obviously, plant the yard-long beans and you get them all the way through August. Thank you.
You have a card for your organization? Do I have a card, buddy? Card or anything? A card.
Business cards.
Yes, I do. success as your start running your business starts. I've got three.
I do a lot of water harvesting.
I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll put all three up here on the podium. Y'all can come up and get them. You can get our information on the card. Rain bees. Yes, ma'am.
Just an idea of where harvesting might be important or extended. These big industrial buildings that are going up all around town,
Yes,
they're not capturing any of that
I
rainwater.
know.
And it's huge, I mean, it's an acre of a building.
Yep.
And for the small farm that I help at, you know, erosion is terrible, and I can't convince them to put in a collection system.
That's absolutely one of the benefits of putting in rain harvesting is that you cut that erosion around your building.
Right.
My wife will tell you that every time we took a trip driving around, I go, ooh, they should be captured. Ooh, they should be captured. She said, just stop, stay silent the rest of the way.
The county commissioners might be interested in hearing how it could be beneficial to the community on the bigger buildings.
There is an agricultural research center in, it's going to come to me as soon as I get my brain fog pushed out of the way. What can I think of the name? I play golf there. In Caldwell County, County City, Lockhart. I knew it started with an L, I just couldn't get it out. Lockhart, there is a research center there, agricultural group, that does tissue grafting. And they are out of California, and they have an aquaponic system inside a big building. And I asked them, why don't you do rain harvesting off of this structure? It's huge. And they said, well, we're renting the building, and the owner has no interest in doing rain harvesting, but it's okay. We don't use much water. And I couldn't believe it. They were growing 30,000 plants in a space about the size of this. And they only had a 30-gallon water tank.
Can't take
30,000 plants with it. Yeah, very efficient operation. They're open on Saturdays for plant sales, and they're on FM 20, I think it is, going north out of Lockhart toward Bastrop. On the left, about a mile out of town.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I came up with Master Gardeners in Montgomery County. We have a real nice site there, and on our buildings, we had rainwater harvesting. I took care of that for a number of years. So there's an opportunity if you have buildings on your sites or anything like that to do this. So we use it in our schools and everything in there, and in the buildings, we use it for irrigation on our site. We have aquaponics there, we use it in it. So there's an advantage out there for everybody to get it where you can use it for the Master Gardener situation.
Well, I put that back up just so you can see the rainbees.com. You can get our information off of that. Both our email and we're leaving a copy of this presentation on your computer. So if anybody wants what's here, it's available to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. A couple things before I forget. Pam, I told her that she could come up and tell you something about kids crafts for the county fair before we started, but I wanted to make sure that we got started on this. So come on up, Pam. I want you to hear it from her because I don't want to mess up what she wanted to say. So go for it.
Really fast and quick. We are doing the kids' activities at the fair. I need y'all to help me if possible. I need bottles like this, Gatorade, water bottles, whatever, usually 16 to 18 ounce bottles. We're making bird feeders out of them.
With the cap. With the cap.
Yes, with the cap. Okay, the other thing, and Pam showed me this the other day, there's a whole basket, somebody has been putting toilet paper rolls and saving them. That's what this is made out of, sweetie. Okay. The inside is a toilet paper roll, and we're taking the big fluffy yarn and running it through, put a top on it, and they have their own little pumpkin.
So the toilet paper rolls, when you bring them in the past, we've always put them on the bottom shelf in the front lobby. So just keep doing that.
Yes, if you don't do the toilet paper, if you do paper towel rolls too, I can cut them, and we can make them in various sizes, so we have a 2, a 3, a 4, and then we have the big toilet roll with toilet paper around it, that makes it nice and fluffy and pocket. But those are a couple of the things that we're gonna be doing for the kids for arts and crafts, but I would need some assistance in saving bottles, because I can't grab it.
And do you need more spoons? Do you need more
I got
spoons?
spoons.
You're good on spoons? Okay, I just saw the demo and I'm like,
Yeah, selection sites for the toilet paper and the bowls
I would just
out under the
Right,
table.
you bet, and I'll come in and check on that, but if everybody, I know everybody drinks water or different, Gatorade is different.
I have teenagers that go
Just
through like
bring them.
crazy even when I'm
You know,
ready.
and drop them off, that would be great. I'm trying to get probably 60 plus. I think last time Kathleen said they did 100. I know Kathleen said last year they had about 300 kiddos that came. Probably a little bit more this year too. Each year it gets a little bit bigger. So we will have some extra on hand, but again, we're gonna have like 5 or 6 things that the kids can do. And it depends on their level and ages. So, but if y'all would save some for me, Jessica, we appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and I also meant to make a point that Bill, he didn't present tonight because he knew that we were going to be pressed for time. But all of his minutes are still the same as what they were in the board meeting minutes that are online on BMS. And most of what he would be saying tonight is really a recycle of what he said last membership meeting as well, as far as like the shadow program, and speakers bureau, and classes coming up. So if you wondered, wait, what was that the bill was talking about? It's in the meeting minutes on BMS. If you need help finding them, just let me know. I just want to make sure to make that point. And now, Denise, come in.
Good stuff.
Yeah, prize time.
Prize time!
Okay, so let's first do our member drawing.
What is the drawing?
This is the $20, the volunteer, Dale, our buddy. And then, if you would kindly touch that, please.
Your random number generator.
33, it's 33 on the sign-in sheet.
Wendy Salazar. Okay.
Oh.
Yes. Gotta be president win.
Okay.
18?
18.
Is Tracy Gunn.
Does anyone have anything else that you need? Oh, yes, ma'am.
So I'm taking the place of Kathleen this month for refreshments. And so next month, thanks everyone for bringing things and donating. But there is this little small, I can provide a sign-up sheet just outside or, for,
That's what she got for you.
all right. That's for next month, right?
Yes.
All right,
And thank you
you.
for putting that out and for helping.
Thanks, appreciate it. Great food.
Yes?
Yeah, I want to thank Steve for coming out and talking to
Reggie's my backup.
Yeah, I know that
If I froze up, he was gonna pick up.
I know in this room, there's probably 8 or 9 master gardener students, interns that have heard you and Larry speak. Our class coordinators are working diligently on our next class 2025 coming up. And like what he hears, we have him scheduled on our tax day of 2025, the 15th of April. So do your taxes early. We do, and as we share with the board, we open up our classes, promote our classes when we have great speakers in. You just let us know ahead of time. ahead of time. That way we can have plenty of literature and seats out for everybody, but you're more than welcome to sit in. So put it on your tax day, on your calendar. Well, I'll tell you what, Stephen Granger and Larry's son are really sharp people, so put them above the tax day.